Good morning, everybody. As you all know, I'm Claudia McMullen, founder of Hugo Coffee Roasters. And as you also probably know, Hugo Coffee Roasters hosts week-long fundraisers for specific small animal rescues or sanctuaries around the nation that are cash-strapped and volunteer-based. And we do this because these are the groups of humans who are doing the work of animal welfare on the ground throughout this country. And today, I'm here with the lovely Kara from our partner, our fundraising partner of the week, Rocky Mountain Great Dane Rescue. Good morning, Kara.
Good morning, Claudia.
So, Kara, tell me about Rocky Mountain Great Dane Rescue. One, where are you located? What is your mission, and why Great Danes?
We have quite a story. Our mission started in 2000 when in Colorado, where a couple of women wanted to rescue big dogs. And it got so out of hand with big dogs that they split, and we became Rocky Mountain Great Dane Rescue, and Great Cause Big Paws is the other one in Colorado. They also take all kinds of big dogs because they wanted to take all the big dogs, and we wanted to be more breed specific.
Mm-hmm.
So they split, but we still are sister rescues, and so we help each other out. So in 2000, we started looking into taking these dogs from rescue care, from shelters, people that were turning them in.
Mm-hmm.
And Rocky Mountain Great Dane Rescue takes those dogs and gets them medical help.
Mm-hmm.
And gets them into a foster home.
Mm-hmm.
And if they need training or whatever medical care they need, they get them into ship shape, and then they go onto the website, and they go up for adoption there. So we call them mail by order dogs. Because
Now, is Colorado for some reason a place of lots of big dogs?
it's just I think it's a place of very cool people that had space to do this. And so when that rescue grew, it covers now 13 states here in the West.
Okay.
And so but our hub is Colorado. Utah
Okay.
has a couple of board members, and our fostering program involves all 13 states.
Oh,
So it's
that's
kind of cool. We can
wonderful.
pull from all those shelters, but most of those dogs get pulled and then they go into Colorado because we do have the most amount of volunteers in Colorado. We have about 300 Colorado volunteers.
Oh,
And
wow.
Utah's got maybe 150. It's picking up. And so a lot of those dogs go to Colorado, and we trade dogs back and forth and do all kinds of things.
That's fantastic. Remind everybody again. Now, this was something that Beth and I learned when we first started doing this. And it makes sense. I mean, this totally makes sense. But I didn't realize, and I used to run an animal rescue, and I didn't realize this, for God's sakes. I didn't realize that large breed dogs, and particularly Great Danes, are extremely sensitive.
Yes, extremely sensitive. They are known for their sensitivity. A lot of people get these puppies because they're amazing and they grow up, but if you don't train them, they are super sensitive, and they are known to be afraid. They have some separation anxiety if you're not working with them. And so a lot of times people fall in love with them as puppies, and they grow up, and if you haven't done the work with them, they don't eat your shoes. They eat your couch. They
Right.
eat drapes, they eat your carpeting. So that's kind of a problem when you're renting and the dog turns into a 130-pound dog that's not trained, or that you haven't had time to train. And so you get mad at them, and it causes issues, and they end up in care, usually in shelter care, which is awful. So with these dogs, a lot of the problem too is people are losing their homes.
Right.
There's weight specific
Right.
requirements in apartments, so you can't really take them to your apartment. A lot of apartments will let you, but another misconception is that they need a lot of space to live in, and they don't. We call them couch potatoes. They are apartment dogs or condo dogs. With one good walk a day, they're usually good. They just want to nap on your couch most of the time.
Right. And then the other aspect of the sensitivity of the big breed is how quickly they deteriorate in a shelter or a rescue environment if the rescue environment has dogs in crates or dogs in kennels?
Yes, yes, they are extremely sensitive to that. A lot of people do think they can put them outside and leave them
Yeah.
as well. They don't do well outside. They're not outside. They're not outside animals. They're
Yeah.
afraid of things. They get cold. They just need to be in your house. So yeah, when they do go into a shelter situation, it can be devastating for the dog, and sometimes take as long. I've had shelter Danes that have taken anywhere from 9 months to show who they are to 2.5 years because the
Yeah.
damage has been done. So, um, I think with a lot of training and love and patience, they come along just fine. And our foster program is amazing because our foster people are so good at dedicating themselves to the needs of these dogs, the specific needs, whether it be medical, whether it be psychological, emotional, and make these dogs the best they can be so that we can get them their perfect home. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a match. You fill out an application online, and you the things that you like, if you're athletic or not athletic, you like to walk a lot or not walk a lot, and if you like a sensitive dog, or you have room to run, or you like the older dogs, we can kind of match you to the perfect dog. So we usually
Sure.
have 8 to 10 dogs on our website that are available.
That's fantastic. And I'm just amazed at the breadth of your reach, the
Yeah.
breadth of your reach in 13 states to be an organization that rescues Great Danes in 13 states. Now, how many dogs, how many Great Danes would you say find their forever home through your rescue group annually?
Well, annually it's tough to say. I can tell you it goes in spurts. So since the year 2000, since inception, we have placed 2,100 dogs. That's a lot of
That's
dogs.
a lot of
So
dogs. So about like 100 a year.
about that, it's an average. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
Yeah.
Sometimes people take two or three at a time. It just kind of depends on the situation. Of course, puppies are always the easiest ones to get homes for. I personally like the seniors because they're the sweetest, easiest ones,
Mm.
and they just want a place to be. So that's kind of easy. But I feel like, yeah, we place a lot of dogs yearly, and we also have a program if the dog is not able to go into a home. We have permanent fosters that will take those dogs and treat them as their own dogs, but the rescue pays for the medical and the food and everything. So it's quite an amazing operation.
That's
It really,
fantastic. And it also sounds like you have lots of people involved in your organization. I mean, you've just talked about 2 states having 450 between the 2 states. You have 450 volunteers and you affect 13 states.
we do, and those are the major. These two states, Colorado and Utah, do the major work, but we have volunteers in those other states that will call in dogs. If they see them in shelter care, and we can put pleas out to them. We do have fosters in Oklahoma, places like that you would never know.
Yes.
But we are completely volunteer run. So that means every volunteer in this agency does their work. We have no overhead. So every dime we make goes straight to the dogs in foster care.
That's
And I really
fantastic.
like that part of it. There's no rent, there's nothing.
Right.
We are a 501(c)(3), so everybody's doing their work from home when they can on a volunteer basis. I am a volunteer um, event coordinator. That's what I love to do.
Okay.
So that's my specific
Okay.
thing is I do fundraising for the rescue.
Sure.
And we
So
just forces.
so you just brought up something that I think is really important. And I think it's really and I'm going to guess not everybody was as idiotic as me and did not realize how quickly large breeds, first of all, their sensitivity, and secondly, how quickly they deteriorate in a shelter or rescue environment. So I think one thing we can do as well as you is as an organization, we can educate everybody who's listening all the time that, like, if you see a big dog in a shelter, call Kara.
Call me.
Or
Call me. You
call,
can reach out. Yeah, you can reach out to the rescue. You can call me personally. I can do my best to get that dog pulled. So what usually happens is we have these volunteers that are on social media, right? Or they're always looking for dogs. And when
right.
we see those dogs, not everyone can just go pull a dog, right? Because you just don't have the space or the money or the time or all of it.
Or you might need to drive 400 miles.
Exactly. So those, especially on social media, when we see those things come up, we email them immediately to placements at rmgreatdane.org, and with a picture of that dog that's in the kennel or in the bad situation or in the shelter. And then our intake people work hard on pulling that dog, which is super cool.
Because time, this is the other thing. One, if rescues and shelters out there, or people, just people, anybody out there listening, if you are looking for a dog and you see a Great Dane or a large breed in a shelter, think about, like, that's bad. Like, we need to get that dog out, whether or not you want the dog, whether or not it's the size dog you're looking for, but it's bad. So call one, and
Yes.
time is of the essence, because this happens quickly.
Yes.
Deterioration happens quickly, and the faster the dog gets out of that stressed environment that's harming the animal's psyche, the faster that dog will recover and become the dog that it was meant to be, the dog that it is.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. The sooner you get it into foster care, that dog can start to heal and you can start to address the concerns, and then we go on the journey of finding that forever home and finding that perfect match.
Yeah. I mean, this journey that we are on at Hugo Coffee, by talking to people weekly like you, we learn so many things. And like I said, like, I should know more things, I think, than I know, but I'm constantly learning from you guys about, idiosyncrasies of breeds, needs that are going unfilled,
Yes.
organizations that are filling gaps in needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're filling a gap you're filling a need for a specific large breed that most people would not even understand there's a need about that.
Right.
There's a need. There's a need for the elder. There's a need for large breeds. There's a need for people to have a reprieve if they have something happening in their lives where they can no longer care for their animal temporarily, and
Yes.
have organizations that can temporarily foster and rehome back the dog to their owners once their situation's resolved. Like, there's all kinds of needs out there, niche needs, and you are fulfilling a critical niche need. And I know, because as a kid, I had a Great Dane.
Oh, yeah.
And as a kid, this is what happened. And I was really young. I didn't know. I was only like 8 or 10 when Paladin, we went skiing for a week, my family and I. My parents put Paladin in a facility. I mean, it was, I don't know where, but the dog was Paladin was in a cage, in a pen for a week, and died. He died because he thought, my mom said, he died from a broken heart. He thought we'd abandoned him. And
And then
it took that little time for that dog to deteriorate, and the concept that he thinks that the people who loved him abandoned him and all we did was go skiing is horrifying, but it's important information. Like, that's important information. Similarly, if you have a large breed dog, don't kennel the dog overnight. If you're going out of town, you find someone to take care of your dog and stay in your house.
right. And we urge that. We urge people to we have a whole network of people who will come and stay in your house and
That's
take
great.
care of your dog. Or if you are going to put your dog in a kennel, make sure that dog goes to daycare there and it's enjoy itself, so that it can actually go there and have a good time and not think it's been dumped off, because that is one of the hardest things. That is one of the very saddest things that happen to them. And the deterioration, you're right, is it goes very fast. So
Yeah.
there's one more thing I wanted to add, if that's okay, to
Sure.
this, while we're talking about things, because they are a giant breed and they are so large. A lot of people don't know that they were bred for hunting wild boar originally. So they run fast and they run to take the legs out from under where they're chasing. So if it's prey driven, that's what's happening. When they're playing, they still knock each other down because that's how they work.
Huh.
So we do not adopt to people with kids under 5 years old unless they have giant breed experience. Because what happens is your child gets hit in the face with a tail or knocked over, and we don't want the baby to be hurt. But nine times out of 10, it's the, people need to keep their kids out of the way until the dog can get used to being there in their house. So we're pretty strict on that. If you have giant breed experience, then we will give you a chance with Danes. That's great. But if not, we ask that you wait for your child to be at least 5 so that they can at least cover their face with the tail coming at you, because they can clear a table with their tail. I mean, and sometimes it's a weapon.
I know. My dog Paladin used to chase Volkswagen Beetles. So he would be chasing and he'd be looking at the driver. Like, that's how tall he was.
That's exactly how it rolls. So yeah, so that's kind of another thing is, you have to be careful around little kids, but most of the time, we have them cat tested and other dog tested, so if you can bring them into your home. And I have done it 3 or 4 times, and we just brought dogs in and it's gone really well. So it's kind of a gamble and it's sort of scary, but it's a great adventure. I wouldn't give it up for anything.
No, well, I just have to tell you, we love your mission. We love what you're doing. And now I want to ask you, Carrot, and I didn't prepare you for this. So if you don't have an answer, it's no big deal.
I'll do my best.
Know if like, just say we kill it this week and we raise like $300 to $500 for your organization. Like, what could you do with that money? What kind of impact would that have?
That money would be a huge impact. We have dogs waiting to come into the rescue, sometimes waiting on funding, waiting for a place to be. So that money would go directly to the vet. That would be off the top of my head. The dog comes into rescue, we take it to the vet. That's a checkup. It's shots if it hasn't had shots. It's, a spay if it hasn't been spayed or neutered.
Sure.
And which is something that we do right away. We also work with the Colorado School it's a veterinary school there. And so they do work on the dogs at a little bit discounted, which is nice. So also that money could go to maybe Pexy a dog if they're going to do its stomach so that it doesn't turn, if it doesn't bloat, it helps it to not bloat. So I would say right off the top of my head, that money will go straight to the vet to try to help the dogs that are coming in to be all right, to be healthy and have a good start.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It's great to be able to have that kind of money to be able to go right ahead and not have to worry about, well, we don't have the funding for that. So
right.
It's great. We have had dogs that have had huge surgeries, and we try to do what we can for the dogs we can do it for. So right off the top of my head, I would say that money would go straight to a vet because it's always the vet.
All right. So now it's the call to action time where I say, all right, Kara, we have 3.5 more days left. We're halfway through the fundraiser, which, by the way, started Monday morning and ends at midnight on Sunday. So, and also I should comment about what it is we do. We donate $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the week-long fundraiser to your organization. And that means coffee. And by the way, the coffee's really good. Damn good coffee. I love my mission, but I love the coffee too. And if you don't drink coffee, get a mug. We have fantastic new mugs, or a hat or a t-shirt or something. Just get on that website and buy, and let's spread that word for the rest of the weekend and get people to buy so I can write you a big old check on Monday morning, my favorite day of the week.
That'd be great. We've sent out newsletters to all of our volunteers, also to our Dane Doings people. So I just want to encourage people, share this with your neighbors, share it with your exes, share it with everybody, because everybody drinks coffee, and it would be great to help our Danes. I want to thank you so much for your support and working us through this, and just being such a Dane lover. It's hard to not love them. I love all dogs, but the Danes do it for me.
I know. I love a Dane. I love big breeds. I love bully breeds. I love I love, and it is like literally why we wake up in the morning. Well, half of my team wakes up in the morning to roast fantastic coffee, and half of the team wakes up in the morning to support animal rescues around the country. And we are thrilled to support a Great Dane rescue. We are thankful. We are so thankful for everything that you do to help these beautiful creatures, these beautiful, sensitive creatures. And we want to make sure that they stay out of a rescue or a shelter environment. When I say rescue, I mean a rescue with crates and
Right.
kennels. We
Yes.
want to keep the big breeds in rescues with a robust foster system.
Yes.
We
Yes.
want them to find their forever homes because they're beautiful, sensitive, loving creatures.
They are. They're amazing. They are amazing. I have 3 of them at home, and they are my life.
Oh, all right, Karen. Now you have a fantastic weekend and sell, sell, sell.
Yes. 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 Thank you for your support, and thanks for your time.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We'll talk again soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye-bye.